Christianity and Islam are like Pepsi and Coke. Or is like softer. Same principle. Same product. One is just more refined and more far-reaching.
The success of Singapore, the one we emulate, 86% of the people live in houses they own from the public housing that we demonize here because of the leadership of a dictator of those days. I'm trying to demonstrate to you that life has no beginning, has no end. It's when you catch up with it. It was always there. Elon Musk will figure out how to take us to Mars. The journey to Mars has always been there.
Every other time with Eric, I've been waiting to do this one for a while. We've done an amazing story on him. It was a remote episode, did really well. Today he surprised me this morning. He's here in the flesh. Ladies and gentlemen, IQ Watson is in the building. How are you doing, brother?
My name is George. Nice meeting you.
How you doing? NGA.
NGA twice.
How you doing, man?
Better than I deserve.
Snuck into the
Probably I do deserve.
You know, the Bible says like a thief in the night.
I am the thief and I am the night.
Is that how you come into Kenya?
No, I mean, as opposed to what?
Telling people, you're not waiting for IQ while you're away. You know the way guys...
What people?
Family.
They didn't update me on their own movement.
Or they didn't tell you where they were going.
So why would I update them on mine?
So when did you start this practice? First of all, welcome home. Welcome home. How much of this is home compared to Stato now?
Home is where the magic happens. Yeah. If I can come here and make magic happen, I feel very much at home. The difference is, and it's a strange one. I don't know if I've ever said this publicly. And you find this to be very true with a lot of people. When you lied into JKIA, there is that little air of uncertainty of how you're going to be treated by your own people. I don't know if it's me, but I have come so many times and never goes away.
I think our general service industry, or rather our attitude as a people towards service, is not the best. And now when you throw in service given by a government entity, aka Kenya Airports Authority, the chances of it being a positive experience are not likely. How does it compare to Stato?
So let's stay here first.
Okay.
This recent trip, we land, we all pile up to the front
At the tent.
at the passport control. They start serving white people, and there is the Jumuiya wa Afrika Mashariki, East Africa Community,
yes.
and then Kenyan citizen,
Diplomats.
then priority flyers.
What does it sound like you're all for? You're a Kenyan citizen, you're a diplomat, you're a priority.
No, I qualify for priority because it goes with the ticket you have. So I am lining up at priority, and I think the people over there, and this is just my madness. For some reason, they did not give that priority. So I jump on the Kenyan one because they had just subdivided it. And now it was quicker. And then the woman sitting at the desk, she just walked out and left. And now we are sitting there looking. But the white people, the whole time, the white people are getting served on both extremities. On the very far end, this is A1, 1A. And on the other end, the white people are getting served the whole time.
The AC there is not the best either.
Bro.
It's a mess, actually. It's not a pleasant arrival experience.
And then your luggage comes with some chalk marks. Have you ever had that experience?
Chalk marks? No. What are they?
They mark your luggage with a chalk, like a yellowish chalk, because they want to know what is inside.
Were you carrying suspicious luggage, Mr. IQ?
I mean, how special is Kenya that they are the only ones that can suspect a suspicious luggage after coming from the strictest parts of the world?
Walk us through your journey. You take off from where?
So this was a unique ride because they are introducing air flans. So it was a promotional ride.
Okay.
So normally I would leave Austin, either get on British Airways to London or get on KLM to Amsterdam. Those are my easiest routes. They are very straightforward.
What are you traveling? Are you business guy? Business class?
Yeah, most times.
You don't look like a coach guy.
Most of the time.
You
Sometimes.
You look like you graduated from coach a long time ago.
This one was a very regular flight. That's what I'm telling you. It was a promotional flight.
Okay.
And it didn't make sense to upgrade because they were just promoting it. Yeah. So the difference between the tickets they were offering and the business class, because Kenya flights do not have first class. The best you get is business.
Business, yes.
The difference was not any good. So anyway, so this particular one, I went to Florida, to Orlando.
Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful. When you're landing in there, did you see my post on X?
I saw a post of you in an aircraft with the outside sunset, orange hue.
Today or yesterday?
Was that yesterday? I think that was.
If it was today, it's the one I'm talking about, with a lot of small bodies of water.
Yes, that's it.
So that is Orlando. And the quote there is from Kibe's book.
Shout out Andrew Kibe, put up the book on the screen right now.
So that one was from to Florida, then from Orlando to Amsterdam in a Delta aircraft. Even though the promotion was with Air France in conjunction with KLM.
How is Delta as an airline? I think I flew them.
I have never done intercontinental with an American aircraft. It was the first time.
How was that?
It was, we brought it up because of the A330, right?
Yes.
It was a better arrangement. I liked the arrangement. On the peripherals, on the windows, only 2 seats.
Only 2? Okay.
Yeah.
That's unique.
Yeah, that was very unique. Because KLM, you don't get that.
A question I want to explore, because of course this is my industry. I've gauged different airlines. KLM, what I love about them is not too much maua, good service, but not too far also. I'm not here to kiss your ass.
No, it's true.
It's just enough, European style.
Yeah.
But I'm also not going to give you shit service. It's
yeah.
just enough.
Yep.
Of course, the Middle Eastern go above and beyond. They try to make it an extra special, the pump or whatever. What's the American culture? What's the vibe?
Bare minimum. Well, with Intercontinental, they treat you international standard. But inside the US, bare minimum.
Bare minimum is what?
Oh, bro, matatu.
You have your seatbelt.
Dege za America ni matatu. Even the business class is just a white seat. There's nothing to it. Just a white seat. There's nothing else to it.
You have to pay for your, if you want anything, you have to pay.
No, over there, because of your own priority. So you get Wi-Fi, you get, by the time the other people are loading, they are already serving you some silly, alcoholic drinks if you take those. But there's nothing else to it.
Don't you feel like Wi-Fi rendered in-flight redundant? In-flight entertainment, the conventional style where you pick a movie and the movie list was from 10 years ago and maybe 1-2 new movies. I feel like the advent of internet, even without having the internet on board, let's say that is on YouTube, you can download or Netflix. For me personally, I feel like it rendered in-flight redundant. What do you think?
It's a signs of time. I think where we are now, we are more entertained than we are informed. And so everybody is leaning into mass production of entertainment. And if they can customize your own entertainment and you can bring your TikTok, you can bring your IG, you can bring your YouTube, you can bring your whatever it is on board with you, then they don't lose you. They keep you with you the whole time. Instead of this pre-arranged, packaged entertainment that you have to choose from.
Watching Friends.
Yes.
In 2026.
Now you bring your own so that they stay with you. You know why Mark Zuckerberg bought WhatsApp?
What was the core reason? I thought it's monopoly building.
That, but in the basic level, and he paid 1 point something B 13 years ago. It's because he wanted to keep the users in the same place. Yes. That's why he also added IG. So a WhatsApp guy, an IG guy, and a Facebook guy, they have now been captured into the same ecosystem gradually. If I post something on WhatsApp, I have the chance to also have it appear on IG.
Precisely.
Yes. So they are keeping
I'll take
everybody
it a step
in
further.
Yes.
I have Meta Ray-Bans. So when I take a video with my Ray-Bans, I can disseminate to, like you said, the 3 different platforms through one post.
Yes.
It even asks you post to both. This only or this time or this once.
Yes.
You know, and of course, because it's Meta, you see the viewership goes high because like, hey, what is this guy
Exactly.
posting off? What is he posting off his Meta Ray-Bans, you know? But interestingly...
And that viewership now, you are bringing your own customized, packaged entertainment everywhere you go. And so even your people follow you. So that's what they got an upper hand against a packaged program of TV shows or reruns or sitcoms or old videos on the traditional screen on the airplane.
It's an easy selling point if I'm choosing between 2 airlines and one has Wi-Fi and the same price range. You have me already.
Yeah.
But before we move back to your experience at the airport, Metaverse didn't work out, man, for Mark. I saw they're shutting the whole thing down after sinking $80 billion. What are we not seeing there? Or is it just plain to see?
The world is moving too fast. And we know now he's a very rigid guy. We saw when the world said enough of wokeness, he was still reluctant with those censorships. I mean, Elon Musk paid a big price to give us the freedom. That
$40 billion.
44. That we know now that Zuckerberg was part of the society that was censoring the whole world. So that misread of time, most likely, is the misstep. And it's them that are leading the signs of time and attaching themselves to it proactively. Those are the ones that keep up with it. You know that saying, keep up with the world or to leave you behind? Yeah.
I think he's made concise efforts to switch lanes. I think also for survival as an entity, of course, with a new regime and a new philosophy taking the helm. But his disingenuousness comes out.
A lot.
So when Joe Rogan asked him about hunting, and he said he hunts, and then Joe asked him, so which bow do you use? The mobile subscriber could not be reached. So this guy, of course, had gone and done some homework on Joe Rogan. Pre-planned some answers, thinking, but Joe is not the guy to go and fuck with like that, man. Joe will catch you.
So the Facebook fakeness, he is the original partaker. So he wanted to bring that Facebook fakeness into the equation.
How different would the world look had that way taken the day? The Facebook philosophy way, the censorship way, the wokeness way. If the pendulum kept swinging like that, what would the world look like right now?
So before we do that, we also need to give credit where it's due. Facebook was the genesis of connecting people and making the whole world shrink into a small village. Nothing else before that had done that. Not even the internet itself. The packaging of Facebook was ingenious.
I think for context.
Yes.
To be clear and just to reiterate your point.
Yeah.
We're comparing geniuses. So credit's where it's due. Geniuses with different philosophies.
Yeah.
We're already, I'm talking up. I'm not at any point trying to minimize Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
He's still a phenom. In fact, you're right. He was a first. FB was the first thing of its kind.
That connected the whole world and shrank the whole planet into a small village. And then, even when they did not have the analytical data to manipulate the interconnectivity and the usability and the for me things, you still could get a community out of it from a very early on. When I was separating one of my companies into a separate business, my go-to place was advertising on Facebook, because you could put an ad on Facebook because their analytics were so precise. They had so much data to go through. They could pinpoint
your potential user.
Pinpoint.
You're right.
Like they'll say, a 23-year-old white girl who drinks wine and not champagne
A3.
and has posted something about having gone to a bachelorette party in the last 90 days. And it would bring that girl with her circle of friends. And then it would replicate that ad on IG. So now you're getting a double bang for your bed.
So who put you on? Are you always someone who's always been with the times?
Again,
The reason I ask that is because you're not an old guy by any means.
I'm older than anybody who is going to be listening to this conversation. I don't care who. I am older than you. You listening to this, I am older than you. I'm probably older than you and this guy combined.
But most people of your age are not that in tune. Is that on this side of the world only?
Keep up with the world, or it's going to leave you behind? Do I really want to be left behind?
No. From the story you told me the time we had our previous podcast,
Do I really want to be left behind?
you were always ahead of the curve.
No, bro.
But back to the airport. So you feel like the service being rendered to, I'll put it simply, the whites was better. Hey guys, I know you're enjoying this episode, but I stopped this episode right here because something needs to happen, man. I notice about 70% of you guys are watching the episode. That means you're watching repeatedly, you like the content, you love Every Other Time with Eric, but you haven't subscribed. Take a moment, man. Please, I ask, from the kindness of your soul, hit the subscribe button. It does a lot for us when you guys are subscribed. It helps grow the channel. It just helps us be better, do better, and grow. Thank you for watching. Back to the episode.
I mean, it's not my own words. This is just me. I'm a social observer. But everybody gets that. On their way out, a couple was complaining how the whites were being treated better than they were. And my daughter waiting for me outside heard it before I could come out. Because, of the bags, they needed to see what was inside.
So self-hate or instructions?
No. The problem is Africans don't want to have these conversations. We don't want to admit who we are.
Do we hate ourselves?
No, we don't. We just don't appreciate who we are. It's a very tricky conversation to have with Africans, especially a generation is removed from the genesis of the problem. Because now we are not dealing with the problem. We are dealing with the effects of the problem. Blacks in America have slavery. Blacks in Africa have colonialism. An exception of that is South Africa, but they have apartheid. All blacks come from that. You find them in New Zealand and Australia, the same dynamics. Everywhere the black person is, those are one of the three things they are dealing with. Inferiority complex. But we have refused to have those conversations because you don't have the appetite to be better. To be better. Now, that one.
But
right now, somebody is typing in the comment section, and Coroccas. That is their go-to place. They inherited from the black niggers.
It's a default, it's a lazy.
Now we have solved the problem. Just give George a label. He wants to be white. Now we have solved our problem.
It's a surrender, actually.
Now, what was your question again? Because you just answered it?
Yeah.
Yes. We are very inactive.
So does it give you disdain or do you grumble in the line?
Oh, no, bro.
You're past that.
Bro. There is a trick I learned a long time ago. The people with the least authority exercise it the most.
Unaenda hapi? Unaenda hapi?
Give them that respect. But they did not exist before you showed up. Let them not be a part of your life. The people with the least authority exercise it the most. Just keep it there.
So eventually, of course, you enter the country, man.
Bro, I'm not talking even about one incident. If this conversation was happening last year, I would have given you a different incident. I have been to the airport where I couldn't buy visas. 2023, when we used to buy visa to come here. I couldn't buy the visas online on the e-citizen. And when I came to the airport, they put me in a room, in a government computer, for me to make the payment there. Where else can that happen?
That is so inconveniencing.
Bro, I'm here with my whole family. We are how many? 4 of us. We are to the counter. Do you have visas? No, we couldn't pay them on. Oh, did you try to get help? Oh yeah. And now I'm not gonna bring the issue of Big Ted because he never helped me. I reached out to him directly, and he gave me to somebody else who was more interested in telling me what their position was in the consulate in LA than
than the actual help. A story is told. I interviewed a guy called Fab Five Freddy. Maybe you're familiar with him. Old school hip hop guy from America.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this other guy called Troy White. And they pretty much said that from their own experiences, similar to what you described, because of the color of their skin, they've now learned how to maneuver their way through the airport by calling people before the fact. So that when you land, it's just everything is a bit faster. Facilitation.
You know, I cannot say that because those people are going to get in trouble.
All of these are legend. So do you
yes, I have people who reach smooth passage everywhere. Even the incident I gave you privately.
Yes, of course. We can't
yeah. So yeah, there is that. The logistics, there have to be people in the right places to bypass that.
So when you cross over finally and you're in the parking, do you still get an air of excitement to be home?
Oh, bro, Kenya is a beautiful place. That feeling of home. I mean, if you remove the airport, if there was a way to magically just come in and enter and not have that smidget of stagnant experience, beautiful place, bro. We were waiting for the gate to open, and I was talking to the lady who was assigned to us for service. And when we were in Europe, she had said it was her first time to Kenya. So we caught up now. We are waiting for the gates to open. And I'm telling her, this is a beautiful place. Now she's complaining that it's raining. And I'm looking at the scale and say, by 5 o'clock, there will be no rain. Just do yourself a favor and go to the west of town in a place called Westlands. Just look up a nice place for a brunch. You are going to laugh just the Kenyanness of Kenya.
What's usually your first plan when you come back? Do you have like a system?
I've come so many times, bro. It's just a routine now. But I sleep a lot on the plane so that I don't get bothered by jet lag. It rarely happens. But
you plan yourself well, because sleeping on the plane is usually a good plan. For long flights, it's the best idea to not suffer at the other side.
Yes. So when obviously most of Kenya flights come at night. Do you know we are the only country that do not prioritize our flights? Every other country plan their flights to be at their country during the day.
We probably sold those slots, if I'm a guessing man.
But it's a real thing.
It's unfortunate. These are slots that were probably auctioned.
So I sleep and I wake up in the morning as if I was here for 2 months. And I do what I came to do, like a regular schedule.
Are you situated here as well? Or do you hotel it?
Oh, yeah. God has done some very good rearrangements for me.
How is America right now? But
before we go to America and hold that thought, I'll bring it to you. the comparison between here and when I landed in America. Because there's something I want to say, because I want to rile up the laziness of the people who don't want to do better, but they just want to complain about something that is working elsewhere. There is nowhere else that I get the feeling of, I'm home, than landing in Austin, Texas, on British Airways or KLM from out of the US or whatever, Mexico on American Airline.
That's a deep statement.
Bro, the feeling when they land you on top and you are all walking through, overlooking the immigration place. And there's a long, beautiful walk. That feeling of the long walk home.
So America is more home now, for sure, for certain, without a shadow.
But you know, I'm saying this not to answer your question. I'm saying this for the comments of the people who say, watakurudisha. Huko sio kwenu. Hawakuoni kama wenu hata ukisema because you use the word, we hate ourselves. But that is the manifestation of that inferiority. Because there is a colonial master somewhere, there is a apartheid master somewhere, there is a slave master somewhere. And we have conditioned ourselves to be subservient. And we cannot fully enjoy life because it belongs to somebody else. That's why the Christianity, the way it's packaged for the African religion, it is so comforting and soothing to us. Because in the midst of apartheid, in the midst of slavery, in the midst of colonialism, we are promised heaven above the skies. But the white man is having heaven here.
You know,
the Allahu Akbar guy is having heaven here.
I love how you bring that, and I love how you invoke that, because it's something for me to separate myself completely from religion. It took a lot of work. And when I tried to understand... Thank you so much, Byron.
Thank you so much.
When I tried to understand the why, the indoctrination starts when you're at your most gullible. You're a child. The people you brought into the world who you look up to are subscribers. So the software is inside. And when I did a bit of research on psychology, it's a core belief. A core belief is like knowing you're a man, you're a male. That you're told when you're a kid, hey, you're a boy, hey, you're a girl. So when you're indoctrinated like that from such a young age, that software, to get rid of it is that. And then you have the backdrop of hell. This Windows 93 software has that backdrop of hell. So you find a lot of times your thoughts around matters God, faith, have a guardrail of the worst case scenario, if I'm wrong, is I'm going to the fiery pits. And once those goggles come off, you just can't unsee it.
And the problem now, you're in the minority. You are the only one seeing it. And there's nobody else who is interested in seeing it. So if you say you see it, now you become the problem. We go back to where we were.
When did this happen for you? When did those goggles drop?
I mean, life has no beginning, it has no end. So it's just when you catch up with the rhythm, right? Kibe asked me that question a long time ago. Kibe observed me for a while and said, when did this happen for you?
I'm asking in real time. Because the reason I ask it in this manner, I'm 35. I feel like I'm late to the party.
You see, I knew both of your ages combined. They still are younger than my age. I knew it.
Because I'm late to that party. And sometimes I also look back at the religious version of me and I feel what a foolish guy I was. How was I not seeing it? It was there to see. It was just there. That's where I went into the psychology path of understanding the why. Yeah, it was in a lot of indoctrination. So when those scales drop?
I don't really know how far back to go and say this is when it happened. But, my God. I told Kibe one time, probably 2022. I told him, Kibe, just 5 minutes ago, I just discovered what had actually happened to an incident that had happened in 2002. He was like, what do you mean?
Something clicked.
Yes. I was in a very bad relationship. We were driving in the rain from Fort Worth to Austin. I don't even know why I'm telling you this story.
Dallas, Fort Worth to Austin,
Yes.
Texas.
It's just to answer your question. I'm trying to demonstrate to you that life has no beginning, has no end. It's when you catch up with it. It was always there. Elon Musk will figure out how to take us to Mars. The journey to Mars has always been there.
I'm with you.
There is oil and minerals and precious stone underneath our feet right now. We discovering it does not make them start existing.
It was always there.
They have always been there.
That's a great analogy.
So it's 2002. We are driving in the rain in my 1992 Subaru Legacy station wagon from Fort Worth to Austin. It's 3-hour drive. And we are having a heated argument. A heated argument. And to a point, I stopped the car in the middle of it's a highway, it's a super highway, I-35. I stopped the car on the side of the road and I got out, banged the door, and stayed in the rain for maybe 60 seconds. And then I got it back in the car, and it was a quiet ride to Austin. 2022, I'm telling Kibe, 30 minutes ago, I just discovered we were not having an argument. I was the only one talking. You understand what I'm saying?
What was the context? What was happening?
This was not back and forth. Something had flipped in me because of an external stimuli that I was not aware of, that had put into my system, had been put in my system. And in that, whatever the effect of that substance was, I was having an argument with this person. 12 years later, 22 years later, just out of nowhere, I looked back into it and I was like, wait a minute. We were not arguing. There was an interruption of an external stimuli in my system that had made me gone cuckoo. I am the only one driving. I'm still driving and arguing. But this other person is quiet. But in my head, we are having back and forth. And I think people who do like mushrooms, people who go through episodes of schizophrenia, they hear the other part of the conversation in their head. I'm guessing that is exactly what happened. 22 years later, I discovered I was the only one talking.
What brought out that discovery? You're pondering? Are you pondering?
I'm still answering your question. When did you get to the enlightenment? You catches up with it. Again, Elon Musk is still going to find out the way to go to Mars. The way to go to Mars is still there. It was there in the beginning of time.
Did you make the mistake that a lot of people make where when the goggles fall off, the first instinct is to try and help Byron remove his goggles? So remove
Oh yeah, is that not the African nature?
It's the first instinct.
No. It's not first instinct. It's only Africans. Only black people who think they should rise together.
It's a complex.
Bro, it's deeper than that. Only black people believe that they should rise together.
My community.
That is why it's so easy to sell African Christianity to Africans, because it's service to others. My Christianity is useless unless I convince you of how good it is to me. We are going to heaven and I want you with me.
The Great Commission. The Great Commission.
But it never translates into, I'm starting a business, let's start a business together. Only fantasy.
I hope you're listening loud and clear. Only fantasy.
So, black people are the only people who believe that they can only do things together. When Jews were persecuted in Europe, those that made it to safety, and especially those who came to America, and you look it up, they would not open a door to a fellow Jew if they knocked on the door. It is very well documented. Go build yourself. We meet at the top. We are not here to help each other. This is a solo journey. Jews don't meet at the bottom. They meet at the top.
What is the origin of this complex? Because how is the complex still
I will tell you.
propagating?
I will tell you.
It's still happening.
I will tell you. The last time black people created songs is when they were getting out of apartheid. They had to do it together. We see it in Sarafina.
Msheniwa.
The last people Americans created songs is when they were trying to get from the cotton fields.
Waiting water. Oh my goodness, yes.
That's where it comes from. We are in this struggle together, and it's only if we join hands that we can get out of it. Black people are always, their conversations are, and the black Americans are better explanation because of the nature of their struggle. It is during the struggle, not during the hardship, in the midst of the struggle to get themselves out of it, and then after the civil rights of L.B.J. Johnson. So you look at the way their culture is constructed, the history of the blacks. It's how was this society during slavery? They all came together to suffer together, to resist together. All the movies are made are in that context. Then we come to the MLK days of the late 50s and early 60s. They are all walking across Sauma and Montgomery Bridge.
Yes.
Together, locking hands. Because black people have to get out of struggle together because of that which they have been dealt. Slavery, colonialism, and now, in the recent history, apartheid. It is in those songs that this one starts here and the other one picks up there. Then they join together. Even when you see teenage girls today, 2026, they are still reverting back to the history of the struggle. And that's what I was saying. Even when they get out of the struggle, their culture is still dictated on what has been, not what could have been.
Do the other races thrive, empathize, or laugh? Or all of it?
Oh no, they wish us away. Is that painful enough to hear? Here is the context. I just said, even when they overcome, their behavior is dictated by what has been. So they are still going to act like a nigger. They are still going to see themselves as subservient to the colonial master. South Africans today, 2026, them that have no history of apartheid, from 1984 to today, that whole generation, they still revert back to this.
You know, during apartheid, brother, I was there for 4 years. Exhausting. Every time we'd have a divergent or any problem would start and it would just go back to, during apartheid. Because of apartheid. I remember a scenario where we were in a drive-through and this white guy came. Mind you, we're walking through the drive-through, which is not ideal. Me and some South African friends.
It's ghetto.
Yeah, so this guy comes with his car, of course, and he gets served first. Now, me, my Kenyan friend, and I think there are 3 South Africans. And the first thing this guy says, it's apartheid. They're being served first because, hey, me and my Kenyan friend, someone like, no, you guy, no. This is a drive-through, my friend. This is a drive-through. The guy in the car is doing the right thing. What we're doing here is actually nonsense, but we will get served when there's no car around. But the default was like, no, it's because of apartheid. That complex is hard to lift.
So even after the struggle, whether it's African independence from colonialism, whether it's the civil rights of 1960s, whether it's the apartheid, those 3 places are having the same conversations. Colonialism never actually ended. Slavery is still here. Racism is still live in America.
Do you experience it yourself?
Apartheid is still existing because the people who have no recollection, the people born after 1994, they are still experiencing apartheid. So now the question was, the other races, what they think of us. They are tired of hearing these things.
It's exhausting. Get a job, man.
You saw that conversation between Kibe and one of the Go Buttons guys.
Did I watch it in full? I don't think so.
There is a place where he said, I understand the whole thing about slavery and all, but my people came from
Dutch.
No, they were these ones that were called dirty together with the Italians. What were they? Irish. We almost had the same struggle, but we have a different skin color. So I did not own any slave, but my whiteness has to be guilted by people who have not recovered from these 3 things. Whether that person is in America, whether that person is in Africa, whether that person is in South Africa. But so the white man continually hears the guilt tripping of slavery, the guilt tripping of colonialism, the guilt tripping of apartheid over and over. The question was, the other races, what do they think of us? They are tired of us. They wish us away.
But culturally also, the beacons of these people, the people really aspire to be and look up to culturally. Jay-Z. One of his most famous songs starts with, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay? So you think you're above being black.
You see, now that is the laziness of the regular black man. Because he does not want to put an effort that would give him the same status quo to be an OJ and to be Jay-Z. So he demonizes that. House nigger. And Caracas. I told you, those are going to be the comments.
So Jay-Z being a capitalist is just capitalizing off that ignorance with a song like that. Him is well aware that, hey, me have made it. Same skin color, come from projects. Look at me now, being put as I'm a billionaire, my wife's a billionaire. As we're doing our things, but from a capitalistic point of view, let me make this song that appeases that complex you have.
Exactly.
That's the game.
Yes. Did you listen to my rambling about the modern white woman? The modern woman who does not want to get married and have children.
Talk about it.
I said, she looks as if she has everything figured out, except this thing she is trying to do has never been tested. Except for where the situations put a woman in a place where she never chose to be. Whether it was in medieval time, there was a disease called the Black
Plague.
Yes. The Black Death or the Black Death plague that killed men, and women could not find husbands. During the Civil War in American South, white men died in war. There were no men to marry these women. So that woman, then 1945 Japan.
So it was circumstantial.
Yes, those three different women. From that 1375, from the 1800s of the Civil War, from 1945 Japan, they did not put themselves there. But nonetheless, we see the suffering of them getting to old age without a man. But the modern woman here seems to be so sure of what she is doing. And then I said, which is why I'm bringing it up, I'll be here to make the money out of providing the solutions to the problems that the modern woman is going to face in 20 years, which should have been solved by the children she don't have, which should have been solved by the husband she doesn't have. I'll be here to make that money, to offer that solution to that problem that is going to be staring at her in the face.
What are some of these you predict?
But the reason I'm bringing this because people don't get lost is what now Jay-Z is doing. He's capitalizing on the mischief of the victimhood of the niggers that, can we say nigger here?
Of course you can say nigger. Of course you can say nigger, man. Nigger.
That victimhood they have put themselves into. And we can extend it to Africa. The politicians are taking advantage of the victimhood of the Africans from colonialism, and they have now become the colonial master. We can take it to South Africa. We see Julius Malema.
Oh my God, Malema is a genius.
He's taking advantage of that anger, that inactivity.
People get mad at me whenever I speak of such people with a genius monarch attached because, I mean, I think the world is extremely capitalistic and Malema, here's a guy who's so, there's a bunch of guys who want to be soothed about the tribulations that they are.
Bro, he brings the uniforms and everything. Aprons. Farmers' party nonsense. Disrupt parliament and instill that the tiredness of the African nature of disruption and destruction. And brings it into the honorable house. Make it mainstream and get guys in red aprons and overalls to represent the anger of the people back in the townships.
And have you seen how rich he's gotten?
Come on.
And, I mean, backdoor meetings with Murdoch and them. This guy has just choreographed these things. They sit on one table.
So, the people selling off our ranches in Nanyuki, the people selling off our mineral deposits, you cannot hate them. You can only admire them. The Malemas that have capitalized on the anger of the inactive black man in South Africa. The race hustlers of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. And the new one now, what is his name? Gump? The new super lawyer? The very dark-skinned, tall guy.
I'm not someone familiar with him.
Yeah, I think his name is Gump.
You have Dr.
He's from Florida. He's the one who represented the boy with the Skittles. That's how he rose to fame.
On a ratchet level, you have the Dr. Umars of this world.
Bro. And the other one with the Arabic name, Tawfiq, Tarif, something.
Race hustlers, I love that.
Bro, this guy holds X spaces with hundreds of people. And there is nothing tangible you can walk away from there other than maintaining the anger of blackness.
But here, what seems to work more is Owor style. Prophet Owor style.
African Christian religion.
Okay, think of many other churches, Pastor Kula style. So now they've even...
Mark Karaoke, bro. I'm old enough to remember in Freehold when Mark Karaoke was holding a tent. And he would bring foreigners. But we had to pay to go attend. Bro, I was what? 20? 100 years ago? 21? Mark Karaoke of today is the one invoking the prayer during the inauguration of our president.
And what I love about this hustle for church, what tickles me so much, is just how they've structured it according to society. So you have or for the Watus. Yeah, because they are deemed to be not as sophisticated, and other Christians look at them and judge. But then you'll have Pastor Kula. The other day, put a video of Pastor Kula the other day talking about delay.
Delay has caused many people to miss their moment. Delay has caused many people to miss their opportunities. I'm praying a very simple prayer today. There are those who are here right now as I speak, as the Spirit of God is leading me, that you know that there's something you missed 10 years ago. You look at your life then and you miss it. You say, that was good. That was good. Something happened. Favor lifted. You missed a moment. Something departed from your life. I'm asking God of mercy, where you're supposed to be now, please open your mouth and pray. Where you're supposed to be now, may there be a reconciliation of time. I see many of you are not where you're supposed to be. Those of you listening to me online, not where you're supposed to be. And it feels irreparable. But we are dealing with Yeshua HaMashiach. He can repair what men look at and say it is impossible.
A famous Christian term that's used, I am. God is telling me about delay. People who in their lives right now, if you are a Christian or a believer and you believe in the esoteric and the spiritual, or if you have aspirations, to invoke delay is a very easy concept. Because everyone feels they deserve more than they currently have. So the narrative around delay, and Pastor Kula's church is middle class, upper middle class. They probably make fun of Prophet Or.
Uh-huh.
But it's
and Nganga, yes.
It's the same thing. In fact, I've used an analogy of Christianity and Islam are like Pepsi and Coke. Or is like softer. Same principle. Same product. One is just more refined and more far-reaching. And the fact that government allows these things to exist.
Go back to delay. There's something I want to donga there.
Oh, yes. The principle and the preaching around delay. There's something you're not doing right. You're not planting your first fruit. You're not praying and fasting enough. First fruit, mind you, near your church. So that's from your earnings. So that you can now get the one that you actually want. And people are there, Pastor, amen, amen. So, and just before I let you say your point about delay, the fact that governments allow these guys to exist as they are is so telling. We're all in Biashara. They're all in Biashara.
I just told you, when I was 21 years old, near Afraha Stadium in Nakuru, Pastor Mark Karaoke had a tent there.
Is that the guy who has churches that have his pictures, all of them? Like he has many small churches all over.
Yes, the Reference Church. He had created that space for himself, starting from scratch, against bigger names of the day, but he kept his mainstream. Then Renhan Bonke would come next door at the Afraha Stadium.
That was like Elvis.
Okay.
Elvis in the church world.
When Teresia Wairimo, a.k.a. Wairimo Nelson, would bring her crusades at Afraha Stadium, she was threatening this mainstream, the Deliverance Church.
And Byron, please put all these guys on the screen as he's saying the story. Yeah.
So they booted her to a Baptist church compound that is gated. Bro, I followed her there at Baptist church in free area, not a free area, suburb.
Believing, hoping, and believing.
All of the above, bro.
Lazima iwak.
So now she is running a function of the African Christian region that is evangelical. And now Deliverance Church is staying mainstream. And then there is Joseph Kamau of the Happy Church, balancing in between. Then you see them 30 years later sitting in the front row of a presidential inauguration ceremony, invoking the prayer to the president, both of them. Tracy Awerimo runs a church inside Deputy President Ruto's residence. If you remember those times.
Yes.
Mark Karaoke is the one delivering the invokement of prayer at the inauguration.
Prophet Owor once called upon the president to hold a breakfast prayer meeting, and they did it.
So you have to give respect to these smart people who have figured out how to manipulate the ignorance of the masses.
But riddle me this, IQ. In the quiet time, and this, of course, we're theorizing, are they doing it in full awareness, or is there a part of them that's deluded?
What is the name of that guy in Europe? I think he's in Germany, who used to serve Owol. Tall, skinny guy on X.
Anyone might know? You might know? Not familiar.
He used to serve in Owol's ecosystem. He is the one who told us that this story about a helicopter, remember the helicopter? You are going by road?
Be safe out there. You guys are going by road. Put that clip.
Blessed people, thank you so much. The Lord bless you indeed. Amen. Yes, I will see you. So you guys are going by road, eh?
Yes,
just watch the vehicles on the road because the road is a bit tricky. Yes, and then we'll meet there. You're coming to Riverside Drive.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, because all the guests are coming there, and then there's going to be a big party there again.
That the president of that day that had given him that helicopter, it was a lie. They had rented it from some guy for the abracadabra nonsense. I can't remember the name of that guy. He's a very, very, very smart guy. So he was in the inner circle. The question was, in their private time, they are laughing at us. Well, not me. No, nobody can laugh at me. They are laughing at the masses.
You think so?
Of course.
Because a part of me, and maybe this is a hang-up on, maybe me holding on to the remnants of the goggle, where I want to imagine that maybe they are deluded also.
Oh, no. No, bro, you show me somebody who is successful in what they do because they are deluded. Come on. You think Jay-Z is deluded about his blackness? You think OJ was deluded about who he was? You think Mike Tyson was deluded with who he was? You think Al Sharpton was deluded? You think MLK was deluded?
So what's the next step? Because many people are, albeit slowly, but because of information, you find a lot of people are waking up to this bullshit.
The Gen Zs, to the credit. But there's something you said about that delay. Previously we said, do you remember you saying about the delay?
Of course. Pastor Kula. In fact, put Pastor Kula talking about delay. I saw this on my feed and I was like, wow, because that's a church I attended. Very razzle-dazzle. His backstory is brilliant. He sold a company called Mode for $100 million somewhere in Asia, Southeast Asia, came back. And then when I thought about it later, I'm like, wow, what also a good way to funnel your money back into the country. Of course, all of this allegedly. $100 million, open a church, make more money, clean my money as I make more money, and it's free money. And now I'm appealing to the sophisticated Kenyan, This is what or I mean, me, I'm a guy who takes planes into the air, but I'm believing some guy telling me about delay. And then every year they'll hold something called Rima Fest, where they'll bring now, there's this fad of Nigerian pastors, where what's that guy called? The guy, famous Nigerian guy who has a very husky voice. And there'll always be some background music playing as he's preaching, and it's very, you feel like you're
bro, I grew up in that.
You're touching heaven. Heaven.
Bro, we grew up in that. In the evangelical wave that hit us in the late 80s and early 90s. Bro, the choir behind us just cue that, hum, and now right there you are in heaven. But I still want to go back to the delay. It is very easy to sell delay to people who have been promised heaven in the afterlife.
Preach.
We still go back to where we started. We have watched the Allahu Akbar guy create a heaven in the middle of the desert in UAE, in Qatar, in Kuwait, in KSA, here. When I was working in Tuskys, mid-90s, early 2000s, everything from China was weird. I remember those caddy bars, fig caddy bars. And people say, oh, it's from China, it's weird. Now China has created a ultra first world that surpasses everybody's imagination. In our lifetime, as we watch it.
30 years only. 25 years.
As we watch it. As we watch it, using the resources from Africa, right here at our ground, they have created a heaven for themselves because they are not deluded about a heaven in heaven. Japan, society in itself, is a piece of heaven. A very undisrupted, tranquil heaven.
Clean, honorable, tidy.
Singapore and Malaysia, in our lifetime, they have created a crispy piece of heaven.
Come on, like Ruto is taking us to Singapore, bana.
For themselves. But the African is told, cheza chini, yako iko wapi?
Pingoni.
So it's very easy to sell the message of delay. It's very easy to sell the message of prosperity, which now was the wave that we were hit with in the late 90s.
And prosperity now
prosperity gospel
touches to poverty.
Yes.
If you're going through it, you go get, I call it carpool. Go get your carpool on Sunday so that the week can be fine. You know,
there you go.
Someone encourages you and tells you, you know what?
Bro, now you get why it's so easy to say delay.
Does it reach a point where, because like we said, the Gen Zs are onto this bullshit? They're like, wait a minute, this doesn't add up. Does it reach a point where it implodes? Because provided I'm thinking, like you said, that my positive destiny is in another realm, I'm not focused on whoever is robbing me of my positive destiny here. I'm using the word robbing me loosely. Right? So if this system stops surviving, what happens? Even the guys who govern will be in problems.
You know why I'm hesitating? It's one thing to recognize a problem. It's another to do something about it. If the Gen Zs have recognized the problem, why are they not running their own alternative churches? If they are finding something wrong with the systems of government, why are they not creating their own systems of government? Not interrupting the ones they don't like, creating an alternative path. Where is the Gen Z church? Let's start there. Because now granted, we are giving them the kudos of having recognized the conmanship of the African Christian religion. It's one thing to recognize that, but what are they doing? When somebody comes with something alternative from their own group, they demonize them. That person is called Kasamuel. I mean, the word Kasamuel evokes some anger that you would never know exists in a Gen Z until you mention it. I saw Quabox bringing up, was it to you or with Sayed?
Probably here.
Yes. Why is Quabox pointing out at what Kasamuel is doing instead of what Gen Zs are not doing? I want to make sure I make this point. This is not about Kwabox. This is just...
I'm hearing you loud and clear, crispy clear. I'm just following you very attentively.
The people who identify the problem with the systems of government, with the housing bill and the tax bill, granted. But where is the alternative? June 2024, it's almost going to be 2 years. Who is it they can point out as their leader? Who is that person?
As it stands right now, there is no name that comes to...
But now, my point is, when Samuel starts out and say, let's not just complain about the problem, let's come together and create an alternative pathway, a parallel pathway to disrupt the system. Now, he's the most hated Gen Z.
I think Morara is a better... Because Morara...
No, Morara belongs to the same group with the pastors, with the...
with the Jay-Z.
With the Gen Zs, yes, and Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson.
He's an ideology hustler.
Exactly. He's a very, very well calculated master of positioning. So, no, we are not going to give them Molala because they rejected him. No, you cannot go back and now say, oh, by the way. Nope. Because even in the midst of him trying to bring them together, even in the midst of him trying to create a party for them, even in the midst of him trying to create an ecosystem where the Gen Zs would come together and rally and contribute and solve their problems internally,
They insulted him.
they demonized that to a point where he said, the money you gave me for the car, show me the receipt, I referred it to you. Due to the Janwe. So now, you cannot go back and say anything about Morara. Morara has all the right to use and take advantage of all the interactions and connections and networking that he has created to his advantage. Those are not my words. He said it to Kibe. Kibe asked him, looking back, what do you regret? I regret not taking the deal from the president because I believed I was forming a movement with the Gen Zs.
But there's no worse betrayal than fighting for people and then they turn on you.
Isn't there a saying that says when you are fighting for black people, they tie one hand behind your head and make it a little bit difficult? I think it came from Vusite Bekwayo in South Africa. But that's part of the story of the nature of the black person, wherever they are, whether they are in the favelas of Brazil, or the slums of Kibera, or in the Aboriginal area, or in the Samoa, wherever they are. That's the nature of the black man. So back to there is a zinger there I want to point out. When one says, look at me, I'm the captain now, in the name of Samuel. The same people who needed liberation, they turn against this one.
Leaderless. Radarless.
But it's very telling for a millennial like Kwabox to pile on that instead of using that insight and say, by the way, what is it we should do that we disagree with what Samuel is doing? Where is our movement? Where is our party? Where is our church? Where is our business financing system? We rejected the Hustler Fund. We misused it on purpose.
Guys, Ombaden didn't give back. What I'd say?
One moment.
What I'd say?
One moment.
Okay.
They did not borrow and not pay up. They borrowed with the intention of not paying up to kill it. Do we need to translate that in another language? It was not that they had the right intention of borrowing and then they couldn't pay up. They said, let's go borrow, refuse to pay to kill it. How can you read that group of people? And this is when
So you feel like it's a self-defeating cycle.
the president had the mandate of the people before Ruto must go, before one term. That was, like Obama had the success of Obamacare right when he got in. That was one of the projects he created. And even that one was not good enough because black people don't want you to solve their problems. Black people want you to recognize they have a problem. They just want to be seen. Because remember, their heaven is in heaven. Don't try to bring the heaven here. Go look at Pipeline, how they live in their own places.
Don't throw trash right outside.
Outside the door, where they will walk
Even the
to get out of the house.
Even the balcony.
What is this city guy?
Put a picture of Mosira. But before I get
Musira, go there and try to clean that place. I commented maybe 18 months ago. I said, in 2 months, that place is going to look exactly how you found it. People are not interested in you solving their problem. They have no problem with their problem. They just want you to go there on top of a van, of an SUV, and say, I recognize your problem. But I also recognize that you are not interested in creating a heaven here because your African Christian God promised you a heaven over there. That's why we are fighting Singapore.
My brother said the same thing about Singapore. It's like, how is that a bad idea? But now on the
No. Don't get in trouble on my account. You disagree with Singapore. Don't roll with me.
No, just on the
You demonize, join the bandwagon.
on the Kwambok's thing, I read differently. I get what you're saying, but I didn't go that far. I think it's a false. Me, the older I get, I realize there's no, and there will perhaps never be a Serikali coming to Saidia. And at some point, people need to shake that off, especially the more upward mobility you experience in life, you realize that more and more. It's about getting your own. So that...
Hey, say that again without applying some socio-economic lingo. Slow it down, dumb it down for the rest of me. Slowly.
Yani, there's no kumbaya. There will never be a kumbaya. You talked about the blacks and trying to get out together. No. You jipanga, you get out. In fact, the idea is a seat at the table. So what shocked me about her point of view was she's older. I feel like she should know better by now that there's no picketing that's going to come and now change your life, and then now all of a sudden you have $1 million or you're a millionaire. It's actual grit and working the system and understanding the system, and eventually to the point where you're the one pulling the levers if you ever get that far up, or you're the one helping decide how the levers of power and capital are used. So the shock for me was, I would have expected that from someone younger, that kind of mindset. That's how I looked at it in that specific scenario.
To be clear, we're still talking about Kwambok.
Yes.
Bro, I admire that girl so much. There is a level of freedom that she gives herself that is unmatched by anybody else you can point to. But why is she pandering to the dysfunction? And not just pandering to the dysfunction, demonizing the exceptionalism
I've just explained to you why.
of Kasamuel.
I've just explained to you why. It's that false idea that people have that one day these guys the powers that be are going to change. And they're going to change for my benefit, me. And then not only my benefit, all of us. It's an idea that you shed in your late 20s when you realize what the world actually is. That's why. That's how I interpreted that whole thing.
And now we go back to your socio-economic lingo that I told you to water down. It is when you succeed after putting an effort individually that you realize from up there that there is no helping each other down here. That's what I was going for.
Exactly. And when does that happen? For most people, 20s, 30s, if you've been following a normal path of life where you are actually striving and trying and there, it hits you like a ton of bricks at some point. Yeah. And that's why it becomes so sad when you see even like an older generation still talking about, oh, Gava, oh, they'll do this one day, you know, we'll get it. Like, that day is not coming. Trump has changed the game. Trump has removed the fake bureaucracy of we're spreading democracy. It's business. We're doing business on the world stage. Different from his counterparts on the other side who used to try and mask it with ideology, pro-people, the culpable that people love. You know, we're doing it for blacks, minorities. We love you so much. You know, we love you so much. This guy is no. There's a journalist who was trying to help him change his narrative about oil when they went for Maduro. And the journalist was trying to give him an alley-oop to get out of the fact that he said we're going for oil. And he's like, I don't want your alley-oop. We're going for oil. You know, this is... So I feel like that's having a trickle-down effect on a global level. People are... It's self-benefit on the world stage. That's
I'm biting my tongue here because I want to participate in that, but I still have a zinger back here.
Go for it.
It's when people realize... It's when people achieve success on their own self-actualization journey, that they realize that there is no helping each other down here. The guy you just pointed out, when he climbs the social mobility ladder out of his own sheer determination, when he gets at top, he realizes that the only way to succeed is to move in silence. The guy saying money is quiet is the one observing that guy all of a sudden now became quiet. My very last conversation between me and you on video, my very last words were, these people who say it's rolling at the top, how do they know it?
They've never been there.
Remember that conversation? It's the same thing. Money is not quiet. The skyscrapers are not quiet. They are facing heaven. The yachts all over the world.
Trump Tower.
The big... did Trump just put gold all over White House?
White House, yes.
Yeah, how quiet is that? It's an observation of the guy who just realized he cannot move with the masses. He just have to move by himself. But he's not living a quiet life. He's living large. He's sitting at the front of the plane. He's going to Dubai, before 2026. He's going to all these exotic places. He's stuck away in secret, in solitude, in silence, where he's enjoying his labor. But you that don't have it, you are observing his calculated move because he does not want to rile the anger of the have-nots. That's where that silence comes from. Mm. Because what do we see? What do we see when we see? I keep forgetting his name right. Is it not saying it right? Anabu Namwamba. Is that his name?
Ababu Namwamba.
Ababu Namwamba. What do we say when we see him vacationing outside the country? We now have a reason to be angry at it. But we don't know Ababu Namwamba that struggled in America to earn a law degree. We don't know an Ababu Namwamba who created a small law firm in Milimani, and he chanced on a Ruto who was disgusted by the way he was being treated in his own party, and he was looking for a lawyer. We don't know that Ababu. We only see Ababu when he is on his boat in his countryside. We only see Ababu hanging off the tall buildings of Dubai. We see Murkomen when he's wearing $100,000 watch. But we don't know the Murkomen that had to change schools in high school to attend a better school so that he can have a better shot at life. We don't know the Murkomen that struggled in South Africa to get a better education and stay in good books with the people who sponsored his education. We don't know the Morcoman that went to America to do better for himself. So those people now, with all these very two young guys, with all the successes that they have amassed through sheer determination and effort and grit and hankering in and going against the grain, those two guys were dealt the short end of the stick and they overcame it. But we don't want to amplify that. We tell them to be silent.
But what happens, IQ, when the wealth does not improve the mentality? And I want to invoke one of the greatest boxers of all time, money, Floyd Mayweather. He's going through financial woes. Now, everything's comparative. Yeah? But this is someone we know on record who's made over $1 billion from boxing. How do you mesh those two ideologies where grit, from the ghetto grit boxing, you find a way out, your father gets arrested for crime, your mother is a drug addict, you overcome by being the best pugilist, pound for pound, make over $1 billion, and somehow that money, how does that happen? What is there? What is there or not there?
Can I quote something on my
You have all the liberty.
my TikTok?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, not TikTok. This other one here. This is a quote from Kibe's book. You do not rise to the occasion. Now you're talking about Mayweather. You fall to your level of discipline.
That's profound. I think we touched on it.
When pressure hits, you don't suddenly become better. You revert to default settings. And if your default setting is laziness, it is inconsistency, it is emotional outburst, which is where 99% of the people would apply, then you will fumble every opportunity God, the devil, and the universe itself throws you away. Discipline. I keep saying this like an insult because I want it to be an insult. Discipline is an insult in African societies. Telling somebody to be disciplined is an insult. We do not value discipline. That's why we cannot see a Moroccan as a teenager, as a 22-year-old, as a 28-year-old. That's why we cannot see...
We're Ruto.
Bro, but Ruto is a very polarizing figure because now we all have a piece of hate. So we negate his journey from when he crossed University Way and went across the street and joined sons of politicians that were running YK92 as a 22-year-old and hunker down and land all these people, the Nyamoyas and the Moi sons and Simeon Nyachai's son.
And if you're honest with yourself,
A son of nobody, as he keep telling you.
if you're honest with ourselves, we all whenever these guys, their college pictures come out, all these well-to-do politicians, even the ones people want to call scumbags, there's a consistent thing. And I saw it also when I told your story. In the pictures of old, you could always see these guys were presenting aspirationally. When you see Ruto and Campus, well-dressed guy. Not a well-to-do guy yet.
Bro, when you see the pictures of him and his future wife,
Promise.
discipline,
You can see it. I saw Kina Adan, Kenyan, all those guys. I'm like, no wonder these guys...
hanging around together. There's the same group of people that now are in the position of power and influence.
No wonder they rose.
Discipline, which is an insult in African culture.
When I saw you in your uniform as an attendant, you're well-dressed. You had worn it well. You know, we feel every day. When you look at attendants around, those guys a lot of them don't wear the uniform with dignity. There's a few who stand out and probably they end up rising. Maybe the management, eventually they pivot up. But those terrorists that you're speaking of from the past were already there. Back to the idea of minerals that have always been there and discovered. If you're honest with yourself, you can see why these people end up where they are. When you see Elon Musk throwing bashes in campus to pay for for certain things, but it was in a disciplined manner.
When you see Zuckerberg starting the Facebook so that he can solve the problem of students doing study courses together. When you see Michael Dell in his parents' garage starting Dell computers and technologies. Discipline is an insult to the African people. We hate discipline. And so we demonize them that have taken the path of discipline.
So in a case of Mayweather, you feel now with a financial discipline?
You do not rise to the occasion. You fall to your level of discipline. When pressure hits, you don't suddenly become better. You revert to the default settings. This new guy that is going through financial problems because of so much money that he had borrowed and things did not go his way.
Tuju. Which guy? New guy?
Yeah, Tuju. Why now all of a sudden you're identifying with him? But when he was doing better, it was the same discipline that we would have demonized. The same people, different dynamics. We cannot associate ourselves with a guy who would have credit worthy to get millions, hundreds of millions loan. But when he falls, now we are with you. And I'm not talking about the dynamics and the details of whatever that failure is. I'm pointing out to where we attach ourselves. Because we never want better for us. We associate with the failure, with dysfunction.
That's why we invoke wizardry with success, like Illuminati. That's why people say.
That's why we glorify a KFC guy. You can do that later at 75. Remember that thing I said, if life finds you at 26 and you are lost, you are worse off than a 30-year-old woman who is single because she can still angukia a high-value man of higher value than you will ever get. Oh, that thing rubbed people the wrong way.
Touched a nerve.
They evoked the name of the Colonial that started KFC. Oh no, 26, you don't even know yourself yet. Oh, even Colonial started at 75. They are looking for somewhere to attach dysfunction.
Failure.
The same way now, Tuju is a darling of the people. I don't know why they have not started a M-Pesa thing to help Tuju. I mean, we love victimhood.
But if you notice, Tuju has not asked anyone for money. In fact, there's an interview I watched where he gave a play-by-play of what happened. And at no point is he saying, Nisaidieni. At no point is he asking for money.
Does that not remind you of Khalif Cairo? He refused that victimhood packaging as help because innately he knows who he's dealing with. These are the same people who are hell-bent on destroying his company. These are the people who are on the verge of going to Kiabu Road and burn his business. When he's up there, we hate. When he's down here with us, the crabs in a bucket, now we can help each other rise again. Weka namba tumkusaidie. The same guy they wanted to finish. That's our nature. But now we cannot talk about it because you are black. How can you talk about black people when you are black? You see, now we completely kill conversations. We can never solve any problem because we are the problem. And we have no appetite to be better. Everybody else is making heaven on earth. Ours is promised in heaven. I am the bad guy right now. Read the comments. I'm talking from the future.
I think a lot of sound-minded people really know. I look at you not as a bad guy. You're a realist. You speak truth to power. Truth to power hurts. Truth hurts. Truth hurts. Yeah. Sometimes holding a mirror to society is painful because people enjoy living in delusion and victimhood. It's sweet, especially if it's collective.
Place.
If it's collective,
yes.
Oh, we're all just here suffering.
Bro, the best songs were made in the struggle by Africans of slavery, by Africans of colonialism, by Africans of apartheid. The best songs. The best songs. And now I take you back to where we started before the machine went off, of what Elon Musk is doing. You had started that conversation. I have an elephant memory.
Go for it. I have an elephant physique.
Trump is saying it's not about helping people. It's about taking over. This is in the context. You are saying there was a journalist who was trying to throw him a rope to whitewash his mission in Venezuela.
Yes.
Right? That's where you were.
Yes.
Go there and I'll look for what I'm looking for.
Yes. So Trump, I love how Trump doubled down. He's like, no, don't try to save me. I know what I'm saying. I'm saying it with my chest. The empire is in full effect. Yeah.
So this is my quote from 5 days ago on X. Is a video of Trump.
You'll put it on the screen right now.
Saying, Cuba is next.
Yes, and even
we are going to take Cuba.
He even pronounced it well for them, Cuba.
Yes. We are going to take it. That country is poorly run, and the worst case scenario, there is no leader. It's a strategic spot. We are going to take Cuba. Right? So my quote on X was, this is how humanity used to be run by strong men like Donald Trump. In conquest, in occupation, in capturing, in colonizing. Problem is, the 20th and the 21st century man has normalized catering to the immediate comfortabilities of the woman to a point that men have slowly embraced comfort, convenience, familiarity, and unsecured peace. United Nations replaced Alexander the Great with Alexander the Wimp. The comments under that original video of Trump is everybody demonizing Trump. But that's how this world has been run since it started. In conquest and occupation and colonizing and occupying.
Do you follow me on IG?
Yes.
You know my
Not IG. IG, because you partnered with me on one of the videos.
Have you seen my profile picture? Leave alone the page for it.
Not lately.
My personal one. Mm-hmm. It's Genghis Khan. Big fan. Genghis Khan was not holding caucuses to tell guys whether should we go and conquer next door. Genghis Khan did. Genghis Khan conquered. I'm just trying to what you bring up about how humanity was run and how conquest was the order of the day. And at the least, we're getting a version that's even sophisticated. I mean, this guy is not saying we're going to rape and pillage everyone in Cuba. We're just saying we're going to take it and run it better because it's failed. Why are we just sitting from the sidelines because of some imaginary lines on the ground? When we can actually benefit from that place. We have the might, we have the power, we have the military that we spend $1 trillion on every year. So why not? He's changing the game, man. He's changing, and we're not trying to pretend that we're going there to spread democracy.
The George Bush nonsense of 2002.
The Obama.
Yes. But he also said the same thing on Venezuela. We are there for the oil. That oil is going to the wrong hands, and we want to control it. We are not there to instill discipline. Democracy.
In fact, pick your guys. Even told them, pick your leader.
Yes. The way Obama did with Libya, and ruffled a very good country with what in the oil industry is called sweet oil. That is easier to refine. Yeah. If we went back in time and it was Trump doing it, he would have forthright said that we are going for the sweet oil. That's what he's doing in Venezuela. So that he has the control of the oil that goes to Russia and goes to China. Because we can. Because this planet has been run through conquest and occupation and colonizing and occupying.
And
That's why he's going to Greenland.
And it always pivots up.
Yes. And he said now the conversation is back on occupying Greenland. Because the Europeans that were throwing him down, they are not helping with the Hormuz.
So he told the Spain guy, go take a seat, man. The Spain guy was trying to have a sit down, man.
Bro, he told that guy, we don't need you.
Trump doesn't fuck
If
up.
we wanted, we can fly. We don't need your permission to fly over your airspace. There's nothing you can do about it. We just want, it's courtesy, we're just letting you know. You are not going to shoot down an American aircraft over the skies of Spain.
And get away with it.
That's why I'm saying United Nations took away Alexander the Great and gave us Alexander the Wimp. Because now that guy wants to say, oh no, according to the UN article ABCD, you need permission to fly over Spain. Alexander the Wimp. But that's not how the world is run. The last time I was with your friend, Sayed, I told him, nobody should have equal rights. It's not natural.
It has never been the case.
If you want to observe how life is lived, observe the wild.
It's hierarchical in nature.
Yes. You are at the top for a reason. Because you have survived and overpowered and occupied everything, and you have conquered everything, then you get to sit at the top. United Nations. Equal rights for all. Beijing Conference, 1986. Women's right. What right do men have that women don't? If you ask any woman, including Kwabox, tell her to articulate, what is this women's right that we are asking for that they are not enjoying? What is this right that men have that women don't?
Especially in today's world, there's nothing.
Women have more rights than men. And I'm not digging at Kwabox. I really admire her freedom. She's a very self-created, very self-thinking, very free mind for a girl with her history. But let's not pander to the wokeness. Let's not pander to the weakness.
Do you feel democracy is slowing us here? This false idea of democracy here is slowing us from our full potential also?
But you know the answer to that. In the 21st century.
How do we dismantle it then? Because it's slowing us down.
There's no appetite.
This false dance we do every 5 years. It's prom. This prom we call elections, where we take someone to the dance, and then we crown them prom king and queen, and then the time spent getting outfits for this prom, and it's a waste of time, man.
Ask a random Kenyan. What is the first thing that comes into your mind when you mention Kagame? Unison, dictator. It's a bad thing in your head. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you mention Kaguta Museveni? Dictator, senile, too old, staying in power, stealing election. But Uganda has had more presidents before Museveni than Kenya has had presidents. He brought peace.
Stability, yes.
He brought stability.
Kinabote were wilding out, man. Milton.
When he was younger, he controlled the regional peace in Congo. The original Congo of Mobutu Sese Seko. He dictated the dynamics of the leadership in Zaire. When Mobutu Sese Seko could not hold the line and create cohesion and stability, he took him out and replaced him with the older Kabila. They did that with now the other guy that everybody says is a dictator. But those are the two guys alone who have shown us what stability is.
They brought order, structure.
We hate order and structure. That's why we demonize dictatorship.
And it takes a different kind of dude or man to do what those guys have done. Even what Kagame has been able to do. That is a different kind of individual. Whether we hate him or love him or what. It's not, that is, I mean, history will prove, time will, when it's studied now properly, when people actually take time to understand the intricacies of the order and bring order in such a scenario at such a time, yeah, it's different.
Kagame walked through the borders of Uganda with 5,000 men only, secured the border of Tanzania, and marched on into Kigali and took over as a minority, as an underdog. And he has created the most stable region, the most stable country ever since, from 1994.
Are Kenyans ready for the conversation?
So now, I was going to tell you, you said about the democracy. The countries that are thriving today, in the 21st century, are them that have embraced dictatorship. The entire region of the Middle East.
China.
I mean, they changed the constitution to allow Jinping to run an extra term because leadership is at the top. The decision is made by a small group of people.
Without all these false guardrails of MPs and all legislation. Look how far China has come in 30 years.
The success
the
of
Arab world, you're right, the Arab world.
The success of Singapore, the one we emulate. 86% of the people live in houses they own from the public housing that we demonize here because of the leadership of a dictator of those days. Now we admire the results, but not the process.
Talk about Lee Kuan Yew.
Because we are not interested in the process. Black people have never been process people. We do not invite ourselves in the process because the process belongs to the colonial master, to the apartheid master, and the slavery master. That's the mindset. So we have never been the guys doing the job.
And the job is not easy.
Where Africa thrived is when the management was by the white guy. I'm saying this very intentionally.
Who? Lugard? Frederick.
Where the white guy managed
Frederick Lugard.
Africa.
Was it Carl Peters or Frederick Lugard?
Look at the country they left us in 1963. Everything was working.
We're still using the same drainage.
Bro.
I mean, I was in last year I went to SA. I went to school in SA before all this nonsense. And when you look at SA, and I used to say, in my young early 20s, I used to say, but these guys were left better by their colonialists lasting longer. Look at their country. Look at the infrastructure. Yeah, these guys left in 94, but incomparable.
What year were you there?
I was there in 2011 till 2014.
That was...
And last year I went on holiday there.
That was after the black man has had 20 years of destroying that which was left in 1994. And it's still admirable. Mm. They took a picture of a corner building in Johannesburg and compared it from 1984 to 2024. Dilapidated.
You know, it's gotten to the point, like you believe it or not, where some South African blacks, even the guy who took us on a tour, was saying, apartheid things were better, man. Things were better during apartheid. We had basics. It's got, that's how far the pendulum has swung, with these guys being given the reins of control.
Imagine if we had the common sense to keep the white man, and I'm saying this intentionally on purpose, to row the wrath of the unthinking. If we had the insight and the foresight to keep the white man to continue managing Kenya as expatriates. Recently, they came up with a master plan that they had created for trams. Mm. Did you see it? Mm-mm. It was running on X. There was a master plan from 19... Was it? Because there's a relationship between with the uprising of 1952. So it was either 50. There was a master plan on X.
They're already talking about trams in 1950.
Bro, a whole map. Somebody went to the archives and printed it out. Not too long ago. They had...
Please find it, producer, and put it on the screen. Please. Kazi.
They had a master plan for trams around Nairobi. Somebody went to the archives and brought the whole thing. And there was quarantine. I don't know what was the meaning of the word quarantine. But the whole map, the whole city is mapped with pathways of trams. It would look like Western Europe. You know, like Belgium, the way Belgium looks like. The way Italy looks like. The way Spain looked like. That master plan was in the early 50s for Nairobi. If we had the foresight to say, we black people cannot manage anything, cannot maintain anything. This is not an argument. Just pick something. Pick Kenya Railway. Did we maintain it? No. Did we manage it? No. Look at KFA. Did we manage it? No. Did we maintain it? No. If we had the foresight and say, run the country as an expatriate, they would have completed the...
We'd be living in a different world, eh? Yeah.
But then there was the uprising by the Kikuyus in 1952. That ran all the way to, 1958? And eventually the white man was done.
The black empowerment in South Africa, I mean, they gave industries which require such expertise and experience to guys who had, I mean, look at what happened to the airline.
I mean, look at what happened to ESCOM.
ESCOM, by
the Kikuyus of South Africa were given tenders to supply coal that runs the electricity company. ESCOM is the electricity company.
Yes.
So they took away the tenders from the white man, gave them to the Kikuyus of South Africa. They started, and I'm not kidding here, they started supplying rocks into the incinerators that generate power at ESCOM and damage the whole thing. And now we are looking at...
Now there's rationing.
What were they calling it? The rationing?
Oh, there's a term for it.
The roaring back breakouts. What were they calling it? Now, they are looking at the problem as at the result of a problem. Load shedding. The problem was caused by their own people. They supplied, I'm serious about this. Instead of supplying coal, they supplied rocks. Literal quarry rocks. I know, nobody wants to talk about that one. Damaged ESCOM. Years of mismanagement. How many years now? 32, 33?
In fact, when you go for training, they say...
No, 31, 32.
The slots have to be picked based on the load shedding for training. That's South Africa. South Africa was like the future compared to Kenya.
The nuclear system now, they use them for bungee jumping.
Oh, yes. And they've painted them.
Black people cannot manage anything and they cannot maintain anything. This is as insulting as I'm making it sound. It's not my saying, it's an observation. We have never maintained anything. We have never managed anything. We only have to look at the Kenyan Railways. When I was 6 years old, my first trip to Mombasa was with my mom from the village. Probably traveling on a leyland. Where did the leylands come from? I want you to understand the dynamics of the 50s and early 60s. White people would put buses on trains, on ships, and bring them here and create infrastructure for them to operate. The black people did not create overland trading company, OTC.
But just look at
Everything was applied here.
look at our current state.
And they thrived in that logistic of mass transportation.
You know, you're a long way away from public transport here. But if you were to see what the public transport has become in Nairobi, for example, it's a nightmare, considering it's 2026. It's a literal nightmare. When you see guys banging lines, the state of matatus, you enter there, it stinks, it's dirty. When you're saying we had plans to have trams,
Bro. We had a rail line that was left by the white man that went through Kibera. And one day, the people in Kibera got mad at something and they uprooted their own rail line that they were using to come to the city.
I remember that. I remember that. That's 2007.
But we cannot have this conversation because we are Kenyans. We cannot have this conversation because we are black. So now we do nothing.
Would you enter politics?
Oh, come on. For what? For what? That's the biggest mistake that Jimmy Wanjigi did.
But didn't he enter after to try and survive and play on the same chessboard? Because before he was a player behind the scenes. And I think because some things didn't work out, he has been forced to try and now get back on the chessboard.
Today, if you ask a Kenyan to define what is the difference between government and system, they wouldn't, because the water is muddied. But we can go back to a time where we had systems that ran the government. The people in the system were never interested in politics because they ran the system. It's only when the agitation for multi-party came that these people now, in spite of them being system people, also wanted political cover for the future of and the security of their properties. I'm talking about somebody like Nicholas B. Watt. I'm talking about Gigi Kariuki, Waruru Kanja, Garrison Kirema. What is the Kasarani guy?
Karauri.
His father. What is Jimmy Wanjigi's father's name? Maina Wanjigi. They were system people. System. Maina Wanjigi brought us Thika Road. Maina Wanjigi had a better plan for the railway line all the way to Kisumu. What do they call it? SGR?
SGR, much cheaper.
As a system guy, why lower himself to a point of politics? When Ruto and Uhuru collide, one of them go hide in Jimmy Wanjigi's house because he's a system guy. Why muddy his hands with politics? Stay in system.
What do you think that is? What, in your estimation? Why did he bring himself down? The narrative, of course, is that his interests were not taken care of, and it's like a survival move.
He owned Raila's party. What is Raila's party's name?
The guy, Azimio or ODM?
ODM. He was the owner of ODM. Why was he fighting with marauding youth to be allowed into Kasarani as a politician? Do you remember that incident? The day they brought Platinum.
Don't for open the door. That's a different one. The famous open the door.
You are a system guy. Earn enough credibility in the political world that you control so that you don't have to enter into politics to protect your interest. The people in the politics, because they owe you, the people who are coming to hide in your house, they pay you back with the protection that now all of a sudden you want to get into. There is nothing Jimmy Wanjigi need to protect from anybody. He's a legitimate winner in his own rights. and the genius of his father. His father is the one who created public places. Like the market in Karioko, the bus stop, the gardens, the preservation of Uhuru Park. He was given the responsibility to maintain those public spaces. Wanjigi should have stayed in system so that every politician he create, I mean, he had ODM's reigns. He had the power over Raila Odinga.
He brokered Jubilee. He's the one who brought them together, and I mean, he's admitted it publicly.
System, bro. System. The last person we know who did system best is Nicholas B. Watt. There's nobody else now. I mean,
who's the current equivalent?
Ruto, because he is a student of history. He knows the importance of system. He saw it firsthand from the front row. But he still also now have to get political cover to protect his interest, because the people in the modern political arena have no regard for systems, which now takes us to Maina Wanjigi. Every time Maina Wanjigi is getting, not Maina,
Jimmy,
the son. Yeah, Jimmy Wanjigi is getting a problem is when he forgets that he's a system guy. His problems are only political. Maina Wanjigi should have I keep calling him Maina. Jimmy Wanjigi. I knew his father. That's how old I am. Jimmy should be having a school inside University of Nairobi. The School of Monetary Studies should have been named after him, because he would be the one sharpening the minds of the business people of the future. But they should be taking courses named after him on how to succeed in business.
In your estimation, what is that gap that brought him back?
Remind me the question again. He has something that Chris Kirubi did not have, because of the questionable nature of Kirubi's path.
So you're saying it's a different level of service?
No, let me expound it.
Of savvy?
Let me expand it.
Okay.
We know Chris Kirubi from Kenatco. We know Chris Kirubi from the Magendo of Kenya Meat Commission that was selling meat in refrigerated trucks to Congo Zaire and Burundi and Rwanda and Tanzania and Uganda. And then they would bring in charcoal from Congo Forest. That Kirubi. We know Kirubi of Uchumi.
Paying himself in advance.
Okay.
And collapsing Uchumi pretty much.
So whatever now you're calling corruption, Jimmy Wanjigi does not have that. So he had more sway than anybody else. The legitimacy of his legitimacy. So he should be having
but I'll ask
MBA.
I'll ask again, what in your estimation has brought him to the political foray in that manner? Where it almost comes sometimes as an angry, bitter guy.
You know, I don't want to trivialize this conversation by dwelling into the nonsense that he propagated with Erica Amodi. What the fuck was that?
I think outwardly it just looked like a guy who is so out of touch with now the politics and how
because he is out of the air. Out of the water. He does well in deep waters. Underneath like a whale.
I'll take it a step further. You complain about Eric Omondi. What about Steve Bogo? That's your guy.
I don't know much about Steve Bogo.
No, but you'll do some homework after this. Having Eric and then Steve just shows how this is not your realm. This is not your realm. You coming into politics for him.
It was a bad misstep.
And the look was so like Is there someone advising you? Are you?
I mean, Erika Modi. I mean, they trivialize the whole thing. Erika Modi is dressed as a woman, singing songs with Jimmy Wanjigi's name in them, wearing wig and makeup and a woman's dress. What the actual, bro? Come on, Jimmy Wanjigi, the prime mover, the guy who gave us Thika Road. He should be attending lectures
And when you hear
in big universities,
he has such a
teaching the mind of the future on how to run a country. What is this thing he keep talking about? Opida's debt.
odious debt.
Why are you explaining it to Kingori?
No, to be honest, IQ, what I saw happen with that narrative is that it lost steam because people could not wrap their heads around it. If you listen keenly, what he's saying is very true. And it makes sense. But it's not palpable for most people. Yeah, so you go and spice and expound 5, 6, 7 times, so much so that by the 5th, 6th time, we can tell that you're even angry, that you're still having to explain to Latif again. Because he's asking you the same question he asked last time, but you're like, I explained that last time.
Bro, those are policy issues that he should be giving lectures on in School of Monetary Studies that should have been named after him. Do you know what is School of Monetary Studies? Right there on Mother and North. Delalu, where they used to print money.
Yes.
And institutions and government departments are said in their finest. KRI is the name, right?
The one for revenue? No,
Yeah,
for
the
tax,
revenue body.
tax. Yeah.
They should be said in their best there for refresher courses where Jimmy Wanjigi is giving lectures on that Odious nonsense he keeps talking on Kingori.
They've started calling him the podcast politician.
Bro, huge misstep. Smartest guy in Kenya today being outsmarted by a system guy because the system guy is disciplined. Samuel Ruto.
Would you say disciplined or because this other guy was a bit emotional? Because it was coming off as an emotional end.
But if we mention emotion, then everybody says, oh, they are just throwing words, and then the whole conversation dies because now we are saying he's emotional. So now nobody listens to anything else. Oh, they called Jimmy Wanjigi emotional, but that's not what we are saying. He is the quintessential system guy. He had it. When did Kibaki president? 2003?
2003. This is when he came in.
22 years. He should have run that thing, bro. He should have taken us back to where his vision was. Not sit down and complain about he had a better plan to extend the railway to Kisumu. That was a fraction of the price.
He said he had a better plan.
Stay in the system and make it happen.
He said he also had a better plan for the airport, JKI.
And we believe it. But sell that plan to the right people. Control the politicians inside of your system so that they do your bidding. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Bro, America is run by systems. The Obamacare, for example, the reason they cannot kill it is because it's attached to the system. No matter how much they try to defend it through the political upheavals, it was attached to the system. Before that, there was Medicare. You think everybody voted for Medicare? No. The baby boomers said, get the government out of my health care. The same baby boomers now are benefiting from the genius of Medicare because it was plugged into the system. Into the system. 401k.
Oh, 401k.
The same thing.
Watertight. One you cannot.
Inside the system. It's the it's only him who had the insight and the foresight to guide us to that ingenious brain of his.
And for one case, almost not a system, almost a culture even. That's how embedded it is.
Bro.
So do you participate here, like now, when you're here for, how long are you here for? Okay, without, you don't have to give me dates. But you're here for,
Do I participate in what?
would you vote here?
No, I've never voted in Kenya. I voted in the by-election when Matiba was running against Martin Shikuku. None of the people who just heard those words know who Martin Shikuku is. None of the people who just heard those words who know who Kennedy Matiba is. I was in Nakuru when Fordasili was Fordasili. And they wanted to have this practice of democracy. They wanted it, Kennedy Matiba. But they put him, excuse me.
It's okay.
They put him against Shikuku just to practice the democracy they were crying over that was lacking in Daniel Moi's Section 2A, 2B.
Section 2A.
Right?
Yes.
So that's the only thing I ever participated in. And before that, in 1992, I was one of the very few fortunate people to participate in voter registration. It was a very open selection. We went to Ihura Stadium, and dependent on your school qualification in Form 4, they picked up from the top to the maximum where they needed people. And were distributed in every region of the country. And we were registering people to vote in my little primary school back in the village. That is the much I have ever done for democracy.
So when you come here, what are you typically up to? Are you here to just, is it like a holiday for you?
Oh, why are you questioning my Kenyanism?
No, I'm just...
Why do I need a permission to do what are the guidelines?
No, this is just my...
If you don't live here, but you are from here, act this other way.
No,
why? Why are you otherizing me?
Yeah.
Do you know the meaning of otherizing?
Authorizing.
Yeah, other than. This is not one of us. It was a Bill Gates, it was a Bill Clinton's quote.
Me, I'm curious. I'm curious. What does such an expedition mean for you? Like, what are you up to?
Like what? Ask a straightforward question.
What do you do when you're around?
Everything that a regular Kenyan does. I know where you're going. So let me finish the sentence. Everything that a regular Kenyan does without the limitation of a budget. Is that where you're going?
So it's a holiday also for you?
Yeah, but Americans don't have holiday. Holiday is very British. Americans work to death. The biggest CEOs are in the 80s. I mean,
Hank Paulson and them.
How old is Warren Buffett?
Yeah, Warren Buffett is old.
He's still running Heatherways.
Hank Paulson, those guys are old guys. Wall Street guys are old.
Yeah. America don't let go of good people. Too many things to talk about. When my father was in active employment, the age of retirement was 55 years old.
Which is actually ridiculous when you think about it.
We just came from the guys running General Motors, the guy running GE, the guys running GMC, the guys running Heatherway. They are above 70s. You get a good person, you keep them. And you don't guilt them like the Gen Z things of saying, boomers need to get out so that we can get that position. You don't have what it takes to run anything.
So shout out to Atwoli.
Every single day. Yeah. I mean, Atwoli is giving us a blueprint, Atwoli and Raida's brother. A blueprint on how to stay relevant.
Atwoli looks like he's buying some health back. He looks healthier.
He doesn't look like he is. I mean, when you eat some yellows, that's what you get. Look at Oparanya. The most red pill man in this country.
That guy asked one of his wives to, because he couldn't remember her name. When he was introducing them. Like, I'm not sure, Abu just introduced herself.
Bro, there was, I think it was his homecoming when he got appointment from the president.
Yes.
And he called his wives from the oldest to the youngest. And he looked at the lineup and he said, some of them are not here. And then he said, the oldest one is going to speak for the rest. And they all sat there.
Dignified.
In honor, in respect, in obedience, in follow.
Shout out Jirongo as well.
Of this man.
Even Jirongo's wives, I mean, they presented well.
So, what is this thing that the people who are the youngest in the society, all of a sudden now have the most information and the most experience to shoo away the boomers to run what? To run what? What is it you know about Kotu that you can do it better than Atwoli? You don't know Kotu without Atwoli. They got rid of the Nut guy, K-E-N-U-T. What was his name? Sosion. Uh-huh. Tell me anything you know about Nut now.
Nothing, actually.
There you go. Don't get rid of good people.
These guys, most of them, a lot of them know.
Don't get rid of good people. If we had kept Kibaki for 20 years, I mean, he is good when he's dead, right? Everything now about Kibaki, we praise him.
Posthumous, yeah.
The best times was Kibaki time. Why didn't you keep him for 20 years?
People had a different narrative when he was alive. So much so that they thought about it.
Like he did steal the election of Raila Odinga. That one is there.
It's documented.
But
In fact, it's documented.
I'm talking after the hindsight, 2020. The best president ever, John Mwai Kibaki. Why didn't you keep him for 20 years? So that we are moving from him to Ruto for obvious reasons. Ama, you people want to have this conversation when you go to heaven?
But it goes back to that idea of democracy and a document that says he cannot go beyond a certain amount of years.
Why? Jinping changed the rules.
Now that's the conversation we must have.
Mayor Bloomberg changed the rules inside USA for that term in New York City.
Oh, he was mayor for three terms?
Yes. Inside USA, not some Allahu Akbar dictatorship territory.
You see,
Inside New York, he changed the rules to run for that term.
do you see Trump finding that loophole?
Now tell me, who was the governor? Who was the mayor of New York after Bloomberg?
I know before was the guy
You
for
see,
9/11.
you have to think about it, right?
The lawyer, Trump's lawyer.
It was the guy, the white guy who had married a black woman with Rasta hair.
Oh, this.
You cannot remember his name because he's useless.
The guy who's
That's why you keep good people.
the guy who embezzled they say he embezzled a bit of money and then was spending on his side chick, hired his side chick. What's this guy called? I can't remember his name. Black guy, bald guy.
That's why you keep good people. Western democracy has destroyed every society it has touched, including America itself.
You think Trump can run a third time?
It's not me thinking.
He will. Because it's a discussion that's there.
I mean, Trump does not mince words. He said we can do it the easy way or we can do it the hard way. The easy way is you shut the fuck up and I run for a second term because I am fresh.
A third term, yeah.
No, it's a second term.
It's a second term, but essentially it's a third term.
That is a you problem. That you problem is the reason I'm here. To fix up the mess of Sleepy Joe. So, asking like Hillary Clinton, what part of this you don't like? The peace, or the tranquility, or the prosperity?
You're currently in America. Is it more prosperous, would you say? Because we are outsiders.
America is coming back.
You're a businessman. Are you seeing an upsurge?
Bro, we got hit very bad by COVID because of the poor leadership that we had at the time.
Well, that was Trump.
No.
Wasn't Trump the COVID president? 2016 to 2020. Wasn't Trump president in 2016 to 2020?
Is it when you got sick or when you started experiencing the systems of the illness? The effect of COVID were not felt in 2020.
Or the aftermath under Joe.
Yes.
But right now, as you are, as a businessman in America, are you experiencing a better time under Trump? And what are the tangible things?
I was here in December. 3 months later, I'm back here. Everything is running smoothly without me.
The money's good.
I mean, that's why I have this phone here. My phone is timed on American time. It's 2:40 in Austin, Texas, in the afternoon. America is back. Before Iran happened, we were able to lower the prices of oil because of occupying the oil fields of Venezuela. Trump had imposed the tariffs on countries that were taking advantage of us.
So the tariffs actually worked.
They fought it all the way to the Supreme Court. And when the decision was not in favor of Trump, he stood there on the podium and said, I have a RIP code and I'm going to use it. Now it's across the board 15%. Trump is not a politician. He told us that in the 80s. Sitting on the couch with
Oprah.
With Oprah. I'm not a politician. He was a Democrat. And then he said, but if I had to run, I would probably do it as a Republican.
Probably, yes, I remember that famously.
Yeah. Fiscal responsibility. So we go back to my tweet. Conquer, occupy, colonize, dominate. That's where we are now.
The empire is in full effect.
We're going to come up off top in Iran, no matter how long it takes. America has been in war for 240 years of the 250 years they have been in existence. This is not a new rodeo.
The most experienced, actually.
Yes.
Do you participate there in politics in terms of voting?
Americans don't do politics the way Africans and Kenyans do politics.
The primaries are coming up soon.
Yes. They call them midterms.
The midterms, yes.
Yeah.
How is it looking for Trump?
I mean, it's the shift of power in the lower house. That's where the problem is. That's what killed Obama when he lost the midterms. Because everything budgetary has to come from the lower house, get approved at the upper house. So if you have the wokeness of the Democrats, the things that they are now slowing him down, that has affected the airport security, is because of the votes that the Democrats have. So if they get more of those, then they slow him down even further. But he is a president of executive order. So he will always navigate that. Obama used to bargain with them. Lord John Boehner.
To a fault.
Waste of time.
It was a political culture thing in terms of trying to minimize executive orders. That was the way the politics was practiced.
We are in an era where we demonize power, right? Strength is demonized. Executive order is power. So they try to demonize him exercising executive orders. But every president has done executive orders on useless things. He is doing them on things that actually move the needle. That's the difference. Yeah. On things that matter to bring America back.
But for the top seat, there's no, on the other side of the aisle, even for 2 years from now. I mean, who? Newsom.
Who are they going to give us?
They're going to try Newsom. Who are they going to try? There's no one.
Planet Earth is done with wokeness.
And I've seen Gavin try the Trump.
Elon Musk made sure of it.
I've seen Gavin try the Trump approach, but on the Dem side, and it doesn't slap the same because it's disingenuous.
Bro,
And people see through it as well.
American elections are dictated by middle-income white women. And California does not look good for a middle-income white woman because a woman naturally is self-preserving. She self-preserves her interest and her resources to the advantage of her children and her well-being and her security and safety and provision. Those are the bases. You put a picture of California, it's not appealing to the white woman. So they lean into small businesses. They lean into physical responsibilities. They lean into access to health care for their children and for themselves, and better education. The right to choose the education, which is a mantra of the ultra-right. So California, it's not going to give us anything. No. Trump is going to, Sharif Nasir used to say, wapende wasipende. Majibu unasema ikuje.
Yes.
Wapende wasipende. Trump is going to be president. He told us, you can do it the easy way, or we can do the bypass of getting the vice president as president, and then he resigns, and I become president. Something that has been practiced in Russia by Putin. We forget that.
Yeah, Vladimir. Yes,
What was the guy?
Oh, it's not Nedved. I'm forgetting. But yeah,
He disappeared.
he was. But he was Putin's right hand man. He took the reins, and this guy was ruling. But this guy was ruling from the sidelines.
And then squared back and came back on top.
Give it back.
Bro, we called him back because we were done with the degeneracy of the liberals. We cannot go back to that.
Before we land this plane, I have to ask you, what do you take about? What's your take on the trove? Although this is about 2 months old now.
The what?
The trove of million files that were released. Jeffrey, what is all that about? You're there on the ground. How was that received in America?
Again, Americans don't do politics the way Kenyans do politics. You have to understand that.
Maybe expound on that.
Everybody in Kenya and their grandmother is a political pedant. Everybody. We feel this duty of
Giving our thoughts.
involving ourselves with the sausage making of politics. Americans don't do that. Americans activate their vote.
Is that why I was once at a dinner somewhere with my friend who's married to an American girl, and I brought up politics, and she got so befuddled.
You just got the word out of my mouth.
She got completely like, "What are you? I don't know you. How can you ask me my political inclinations? And you don't know me. I don't know you." And me, I was just practicing the Kenyan culture thing where with a stranger.
I just wanted to go exactly there. Elections happen in November every even year, right? So 2022, 2024, 2026,
Yes.
right? The rule. Remember, elections happen in November. Families come together at Thanksgiving table in November. The rule is to never bring politics on the Thanksgiving table. That's the rule of the thumb. Americans don't talk about politics. Go vote and then go away. If you don't like your vote, change it in 2 years.
So there's an etiquette around how we go about our daily stuff.
Now, imagine this conversation. Me denying you the right to talk about politics.
For Kenya, that's absurd.
We fought
The Uber guy will tell you about.
We fought to the nail. I remember my own family members telling me that safari hii hatutauziwa uoga. Uhuru alipata zake 10, sasa ni Ruto apate zake 10. These are Kikuyu for context.
Of course.
The day after the inauguration, the same month, turn against Ruto. What the fuck?
The day after.
I mean, is that not the Kenyan atmosphere? We fight for him. We see all these rallies and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people, and we streamline to the booth, and we vote for this guy. And the moment he's inaugurated, now we start finding something wrong with him. We don't even give him the minimum requirement in the Constitution that says if you do not like the performance of your president, you wait for 24 months, and then you can do, what is the name of the recall? Impeachment. Who has ever practiced that?
Ask us wait 90 days.
Well,
Within my first 100 days. You said you would.
Exactly. Remember those conversations around, now, Mr. President, it's 100 days since you became president. The Constitution says 24 months. Your current Constitution. I mean, it's the same Constitution they have used to eliminate some of the governors they don't like. But the day after the election, you turn against the same guy that you are saying, safari hii tutauzua uoga, Ruto lazima apate zake 10. Where is that conversation now? From the same community.
That go one time.
So Americans don't do that nonsense. 2 years. The same 2 years in our Constitution. If you don't like your leader, you have 2 years. And even though the president stays for 4 years, but the power is in the House. The power is in the Senate, the upper house. Influence that to change the narrative of what you don't like. Emphasize that to empower that which you like. But Americans don't talk about politics.
So you had to adapt when you went there? Or you read the room? Because
but I've been in America twice as long in my adulthood than I was in Kenya. So my formidable age of having an opinion is more in that culture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Now we can't finish this episode without talking about your content.
Which one?
Your channel, your YouTube channel. You're more regular now with the lives. You've been doing more and more. What's the agenda there?
As opposed to what?
What do you mean as opposed to what?
And you asked me the same question the other day, the first time we talked.
Yes.
Yeah, you are now everywhere. You are doing.
It's a positive.
You are giving. No, wait a minute. You are posting content every day, as opposed to what? What we are used to. Somebody say, "Welcome to my channel," because we wrestled them 3 months ago. Look at the people with a million followers, the Ganodias and the Wajisas and whatever that nonsense group of fake fuckers are. Look at the distance between their content. That's why they have to use the term "welcome back," because they have been gone. When you come back in the home in the evening, there's no welcome back. It's welcome back when you've been on vacation. I don't want to be on vacation. I'm creating a community of like-minded people of the narrative that I want to shape for my own selfish reasons. That nobody... I'm not here... I'm not Jesus. I'm not here to save anybody.
You're not here to save the blacks?
No. But there is some conversation I want to happen in an environment that is of like-minded people. And if somebody misses the point, I'm saying, I don't want people who disagree with me. This is not democracy. You already have enough democracy in you voting and you expressing your political views. No, this is AA. Is it called AA or AAA? The one for drinking.
Oh, Alcoholics Anonymous. AA.
Yes, this is AA. We are all here for a common cause.
Same agenda.
There are no people in AA who disagree on anything. They are looking for a way to get out of the mess. That is my agenda.
I love that.
I am not there to air different opinions. Go do that on regular mainstream channels.
You know, that's such a nice to invoke AA, because I used to go for AA, and you've captured the principle around common cause. You're not here to have a town hall.
Bro, nothing get developed through disagreements. It's through consensus. And we don't have that. And the people we call celebrities, what are we celebrating them for? What is it that they have achieved that is worth being celebrated?
Here or generally?
No, in content creation context.
Here.
You brought up Kenya. You think I'm going to run away from this? What is celebratory worth of filling the gap? Name one person that we need to celebrate him for as a celebrity. What is it we are celebrating?
I can shout out Kibe.
I mean, Kibe is an exception. They rejected him.
Who else do I consume here? I'm trying to imagine.
Bro, throw a name and you see how much mud I have to, how bullshit, how much negativity I have to throw on them. Give me a name.
Mwafrika.
Oh, Mwafrika is classic. I love that guy.
He's killing the game.
Oh, fuck, man. Mwafrika is epic.
Yeah, he's killing it. He's hacked the algo.
Mwafrika is a content creation pastor that reads the room. He is the hustler of the content creation. He knows how to iterate. He knows how to tune it and appeal to a demographic. Again, I am not here to field opposing opinions. So also is Mwafrika. Mwafrika is creating a community of like-minded people who they can agree on something. That's why there's so much hate, because people are looking for something to destroy. Black people are looking for something to destroy. That's why they throw negativity on Mwafrika, because black people have a problem when they see somebody creating something. Mwafrika is creating a very solid demographic, unmatched by anybody else other than Kibe if he had the chance to mainstream on YouTube. That's what Mwafrika is doing.
I think Kibe should make a comeback. I've seen most of the guys got their channels back world over.
You know what I'm saying?
Including David Icke, Alex Jones. All these guys are back.
I saw Lolo Tomasi. They had taken away one of his channels. And he petitioned it and they gave it back to him. It was something with a Las Vegas name to it.
Myron Gaines back. All these guys are back.
Yes. So, Mwafrika is exceptional. Bro, you want to know the good guys? The one where the hate is. You want to know the fakes? Where the others are attaching themselves to. Because now we have become the 51st state of America. The nigger faction of America. More entertained than informed. The segments of Mwafrika that is doing better is the one about the information.
News.
Exactly. Not entertainment.
News.
Information.
Palpable, relatable, touch of home.
He brought in Alan Namo.
Yes.
Bro, I was driving from Houston to Austin, 3 hours drive. Watch that thing with my headphones on. Like I am there in the movie when Alan Namo is in the prison cells, talking to an innocent woman who had been put there wrongly and giving the story. He took us to every situation where they had to be moved to a Western European country, a Scandinavian country.
That a while back?
No, not recently.
I've not seen that one.
Yeah. Information.
John Allen is a beast.
Information. The fuckers that call themselves celebrities, entertainment. In the same aspect of the American nigger, of being entertained more than they are informed.
Sexy red kind of thing.
I mean, what is the fakeness with the Pluto raising somebody else's child? What is it about Pascal Takodi?
I see this guy, but I have no idea.
What is that about?
I have no familiarity.
Why? What is going on there? What is this attachment to fakeness?
Bahati.
What is the other guy's name? Shoot, he just escaped me. There was a bad lingo that would have come out.
Not
of that.
Bahati.
Bahati has talent. Bahati had talent. Bahati was dealt a bad deal by life, and he overcame that. Bro, never negate people's individual enlightenment and self-empowerment. The same way we tackled that earlier is that one that has separated from the masses and seeing the struggles and what it takes to be disciplined to climb the social mobility ladder, and then looks down and see, we could not do this.
To come bring you guys up.
Yes, Bahati was dealt a bad one by life. He's still fighting the demons of his childhood by still accepting fake mother that claims maternity on him. Oh no, you cannot take that away from him, bro. This guy is selling more ringtones from Safaricom than Lincoln Kapune himself. Don't take that away from that, bro. This is a guy who has morphed himself from music into entrepreneurship, the same way Jay-Z did. Which is the last song of Jay-Z?
Of Jay-Z?
Mm-hmm. When was the last time he made a song?
That's been ages, man.
There you go. Put respect on that.
He's far removed.
Put respect on Bahati. He's still relevant. He's still relevant. Listen to stories of Jaguar, the now politician, the journey of him as a musician, how he aligned with Odinga to a point where now Uhuru is jealous of that align, and our current president want a part of that greatness. The story is given by him in Kikuyu in a radio station. It's a beautiful story.
When it comes to story, I always...
Beautiful story.
Because I'm not a fan of the music, but I'm a fan of the story. Calligraph.
Beautiful story.
Calligraph.
Yes.
I'm a fan of the story.
Is he not from Kayole?
Yeah, he is.
Uh-huh.
But when you hear his story to where he is now, that grit and that hustle and the continued hustle right now, I really respect the story so much, and the grind.
That's substance, bro.
The guy has built himself a solid empire.
Bro, that is substance. If you are to choose between Ganovia and
Kanute is the trans guy.
No, Ganovia is the one with the big stomach eating. His wife is advertising corn flour, ugali. She shows us preparing the ugali. And then she put the food with kitoweo in a basket, and then put a packet of the ugali on top. The packet from the store, 2 kg. And then she says, let me go pick up my fala from JKIA. Now Ganovia is coming from a trip. There is a packet of corn flour in the basket. And there is a container with ugali and kitoweo. And she goes and welcome her fala. And now somebody is driving the car, they're in the back seat. And now they are eating the food inside the car. Do you think Calligraph can do that?
Of course not.
And which one would you say is a celebrity in the Kenyan lingo? What is this we are celebrating here?
Is Kanude the guy Kibe used to talk about? Terence.
Yes.
Ah, okay. I see what you're going.
And the reason I'm doing Ganovia is because he bought the nonsense from Suga Sabi that I was deporting Kenyans. He came on one of my comments somewhere, I can't remember where, I said, is this the guy who is deporting Kenyans to ICE? The things Kashabi was saying happened 8 years before she came to America. Do I need to say that in another language? Mm-mm. The things she claimed to know about me, let's give it that they happened, as she says it. 8 years before she set foot in America. But everybody believed it. And Ganovia went on a comment section somewhere and said, is this the guy who is reporting Kenyans to ICE? Now, let's go back to the context of celebrity. Which one do they call celebrity? Ganovia or Calligraph Jones? Who has a pathway of life to emulate? That is the problem now with the term celebrity. What are we celebrating for? Eating ugali and sukuma wiki in the back seat of a car coming from an airport? With a packet of uncooked maize flour with you? What nonsense is that?
Is that a palate issue as well?
I mean, it's the fakeness that now we celebrate.
An entertainment palate issue as well.
I mean, and there is a company behind. Imagine it's Super Bowl, February. and the ads run for 29 seconds, and they are worth 8 million. You familiar with American?
Of course, and they always make the best ads ever.
Now, that Ganovia ad of that Ugaya Ugali is the ad now running on Super Bowl. Who are we?
So the question, the question is to the people then, because why is that what your palette is about? Why are people enjoying that so much?
Because it says more about the masses than it says about the content creator. They are just pandering to the level of the people because the people are not demanding better.
I mean, that's something someone like Sajid and I navigate on a daily. Sometimes, we ask ourselves, who are the people we're entertaining? I have Fab 5 Freddy on. I get 2,500 views. Fab 5 fucking Freddy. Yeah. So that's a conundrum I face.
Now, back to the question about content you wanted to bring up. Now I want a community that is devoid of this fakeness, of this nonsense, of this pettiness, of this shallowness. A real community where a 23-year-old can call me and tell me about his struggles of his childhood and how he's trying to overcome it so that he does not end up like his father. Where a woman calls me in private and tells me about the dynamics of his own family failing because of the weakness of the man she married out of love that is still attached to his mother. You think there's room for fakeness in those conversations?
So they have to be handled with some level of...
So be happy with your 2,500. Because those are the right people of the community you're building. Don't worry about the fakeness that you have to wear a dress and makeups like Ganovia, like Erika Amondi, to entertain a group of people that are less informed.
Don't pander to those guys.
Oh, bro, create a community. Run with it. And completely eliminate the noise and distraction. Use the block button so that those disruptors, those people who cannot sit idly by when they see somebody creating something, you eliminate them from the equation. So that those conversations, those 23-year-old, 24-year-old, 25-year-old, 35-year-old guys that are stuck in marriages they should never have been into, they have a place to go and open up. AA, bro.
I love that analogy. Like-minded. On that note, that's been an amazing conversation.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Yeah. I made time. When you told me you're in town, I had to make time.
Yeah, we try to move it around and move it
This
around.
Is a banger. I hope you know. I'm telling you in advance. This is a banger. You know what a banger is? Maybe that slang is a bit young.
I know what it is. It's from hip hop music.
Yes, this is a banger. Yeah, it's gonna.
Oh, I want to bring up something else. You see that?
What is that?
Hey, you have to say it. Don't say what it is.
A wrist bangle. What is that?
Read it.
I can't read from here.
Who is this guy?
Maybe hold it upright. Let me see.
Who is this guy, bro? Now you have to put it like that for it to make sense.
IQ motherfucking Watson.
Booyah!
In the building.
Booyah!
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you making time. I made sure I make time for this to happen. Yeah. I've been actually under the weather, but it didn't mean anything considering I was hosting IQ Watson. If you've been watching till this point, surely, and you haven't subscribed, you're a hater. Go check out IQ Watson's YouTube. Go check out all his different channels. It's TikTok. I've seen you a lot on TikTok, IG.
Is there somewhere I shouldn't be? Is there somewhere I need to ask permission to be?
Are you onto
because
social?
my generation should be dying in the villages and raising goats and grandchildren. Who came up with these rules? Are you dictating the rules of your failed generation on me? Or what is it you are projecting that I should not be where? Which is this place I shouldn't be?
There's no way I shouldn't be.
Because my message does not change when I move from this place to this place. The message is the same. The demographic I'm looking for is the same. When you bring distraction there, I eliminate you. Because I know what I'm looking for. In the Bible, in the Old Testament, they are called remnants. When God used to rule the world with the prophets.
Let's drop a nuke before you go back with Kibe.
Say that again?
Let's drop a nuclear bomb on them before you go back to the motherland, the other motherland, with Kido joint with Kibe. Disturb the masses. Thank you so much, IQ, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate you making time. Every other time with Eric, IQ Watson in the flesh. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed.
Oh yeah, I was going to say something. My number ya M-Pesa iko hapo juu kwa profile. Give the likes to Ganodia. Send me M-Pesa. You know what is the comment around, right beneath that? Unasemaga uko na pesa sasa unatuitisha pesa kwa M-Pesa. Yes. You're not giving him money, you're appreciating the content. It's not for you, it's for them that appreciate the content. Which is why I still want the small community of the like-minded people.
People who
Kibe
appreciate,
created that, bro, with
people-
precision.
people who appreciate the fact that you.
Kibe created that with precision.
It's funny you bring that up. We had an argument with Sergi today about that same principle. Because I have a tipping thing where guys scan the QR and tip. And every so often I get a nice tip. And you can tell this guy, because there's a tip and you can actually comment. You can tell this guy, there's something I said that,
There.
Yani, it's
That's
a
it.
thank you. It's not because I need it for.
That's it. That's the community, bro. Yeah. We are not used to that, so we have to normalize it. I go in the comment section and tell people, please, and you can look it up, please block me. Because now, and you didn't bring up, I'm starting to make AI music.
I think I had one of your songs. In fact, there's a Kikuyu song I had that had a different twist. That's AI? That's AI?
Oh, you think I have an orchestra of Central Kenya Kikuyus in Austin, Texas?
Do you know for a second I thought maybe you have some hidden talent? And all this time, you've been a Kanye West level Msani who just happened to be born. I swear, when I heard that song, I was like, wait a minute.
But the information behind that song, if you know Kikuyu, bro, I'm going hard on Kikuyus. But my point here is, somebody came in one of my songs. I mean, I put these songs in the context of the conversation I'm having. So I don't put them just randomly. The songs are on Spotify and YouTube Music and everywhere music is. But when I bring it inside the context of YouTube content, it's because it goes with the message. And some guy said, oh, I don't like this IQ, I don't like this AI music. I said, the best thing for you to do is to block me before you become a destroyer. Because if you continue listening to that which you don't like, now you have a reason to destroy that you don't like. Just block me and wait for 99 years and AI will go away in your world.
Let's meet in heaven.
AI is a fad to you. It's going to go away. I will let you know when it does. For now, I'm doing this for me, not for you.
And on that note, I think he said it all. More to come. Every other time with Eric IQ Watson, that's a wrap.